Good evening. MasterChef's Gregg Wallace apologised today for claiming complaints about his behaviour came from a handful of middle-class women of a certain age. He said he will now take some time out. Well, it came after Downing Street entered the row and called his comments misogynistic. One senior MP also put pressure on the BBC to pull the programme, saying watching it could be triggering to any victim. But the BBC is standing firm tonight and says this evening's episode of MasterChef will be broadcast despite the growing scandal. Ellie Pitt has the latest on the row.
Chefs, you've had 1 hour. You've got 45 minutes left.
This episode of MasterChef will be shown on the BBC tonight, while one of its presenters, Gregg Wallace, is investigated for sexually inappropriate behaviour. It was filmed months ago, but there have been calls for it not to be aired today.
It does seem odd to continue as normal, so I would say at the very least it needs some sort of warning that this was filmed before the current allegations came, they are being investigated, or there is an argument out of respect to the complainants, it could just be paused.
I've been under a huge amount of stress.
This afternoon he apologised, not for his alleged behaviour, but for his initial response to the allegations.
I can see the complaints coming from a handful of middle-class women of a certain age.
It was these comments at the weekend that Downing Street called misogynistic today.
What's the most difficult bit of this dish?
I think, to be perfectly honest, there are so many elements.
MasterChef contestants like Ulrika Jonsson said his words left her seething because, as she put it, women over 50 are some of the hardiest out there. The BBC says it has looked into claims made by 13 individuals from 5 different shows across nearly 2 decades. In 2011, journalist Kirsty Walk complained to the production company that makes MasterChef that he told sexualised jokes during filming. The following year, actress Emma Kennedy reported that he allegedly touched another woman inappropriately. In 2017, broadcaster Asma Mir says she wrote to the BBC about comments he made. And Ulrika Jonsson says Mr. Wallace was forced to apologise after making a rape joke on set. That year and the next, he was warned about his conduct by the BBC. But it seems the problems continued because in 2022, the broadcaster got another letter containing multiple allegations.
Well, it's deeply troubling if the BBC have received reports over the years that they haven't investigated and dealt with swiftly. Little wonder that our members feel concerned about putting their head above the parapet. If their complaints are not going to be investigated and that no action will follow, then it's likely that they will continue to feel nervous about reporting bad behaviour.
Gregg Wallace has stepped back from the show while his behaviour is scrutinised, but tonight the BBC schedule will not be interrupted by another review into one of its presenters.
And I'll be really impressed.
Well, Ellie, this is it's all interesting stuff, and is it coming to the boil, you might say. The Downing Street said that those comments were misogynistic, and yet tonight the BBC says the show must go on.
Mary, that's the line they're taking tonight, it seems. There are 3 episodes that are due to go out this week. And that's despite immense pressure from high-profile broadcasters, politicians, and, as you say, Downing Street making these comments about misogyny. It seems that the BBC is backing one of their flagship shows, even if that means appearing to back one of its presenters that's currently being investigated by the production company, Banijay, that makes MasterChef, and who's been accused of making misogynistic comments by Downing Street. Look, the BBC are not unfamiliar with dealing with allegations of historical misconduct. It appears that this is how they're choosing to deal with the latest one.
OK, Ellie Pitt, thank you.